Yeah, I just gotta wait for everything to turn in. We are off.
And away we go.
Alright, so we got a heart container at Link's house and Sanctuary. We've got the Hera Big Key.
Interesting little start for our first two chests.
Zelga looks like he's gonna go over and do a Houlihan and get some cash.
Yep.
Seto checking tier 1 tree pull for small magic decanters.
Not bad, but a bit more chests more on the way here. We found the map to Misery Mire.
That will at least tell us what prize we have awaiting us at Vitreous.
So Zelka picked up his 225 to be precise.
And then gonna grab the heart container, which actually was Sank Heart.
Huh. Interesting.
Well, that one got out of the way early.
Yeah. Unfortunate because they won't get a full refill down the road.
Yep. But for now, both of our runners are basically gonna try to farm some bombs here over by the Haunted Grove. Zelga manages to get 2, Seto gets 1, so Zelga's gonna move on while Seto's gonna do another round.
While he's at it, he's gonna take a look at the race game.
Which is our 3rd heart container that we've seen thus far. Just bombs at the library, so bunch of love, but other than a big key to Hera, nothing really that's most progression worthy. But Kakariko has a lot of item locations, so I'm sure we'll find something here soon.
Yeah, it's a really nice to get Kakariko out of the way, the high map pool, and we have the map to Thieves Town. It was in the back of the tavern.
Got Chicken Hut here we're about to find C. We got another big key for GT, so, well, if your guessing game was number, I don't know, like 8 or something, 8 of 216, we found it.
It's really nice to get the GT big key out of the way right now. This will make this pretty considerably quick, but not by much. Given how Keysanity runs go.
Yeah, at this point, you're really just going to be looking out for one GT small key, and from there you can run the gauntlet. Bottle vendors holding nice rods today.
Very nice and very cool.
Seto doing more bomb farming while we find a D at the well, plus a heart container, another heart container, and a power glove. Man, are we getting love today in this seed.
Very much so. That will mean that right now they could full clear Eastern Palace and they can do a whole bunch of other things in the long run.
Well, the one thing we have to remember with this being Keysanity is we're still waiting on the big key to be able to get to the Armos Knights.
Oh yeah, that too.
But that bow is certainly going to help once we get there.
Found the map to the Palace of Darkness. So we're gonna get a lot of locations early once they get into the Dark World. Figure what they are.
So next up on this standard route most runners take, we're going to be heading north into the Lost Woods. We got 2 items here to check. Zelga getting that tree pull for magic. Alright, just big 20 in the Lost Woods where the mushroom usually grows. And the hut has a Fisher Price my first shield.
Interesting little find there.
Seto doing a map check probably reflexively and being reminded, hey, this is Keysanity. You don't get to see what the items are until you get the maps.
Right. He was probably thinking that he was in the Dark World already, but he's not. He's in the Light World.
And there's a mirror.
That's a really good find right there. That will give us it gives us one other item to get into Dark World if they go up into Death Mountain or something equivalent.
Yeah, we could actually sequence break up to Death Mountain now with the glove and the mirror. We could get to Hera, but would still be looking for a sword or a hammer in order to kill Trolldorm.
Yes, that is very true.
Seto not even worrying about the dam and just making his way over to Mini Trolldorm Cave. And since there's not much there, he's not really going to miss anything. Alright. Mini Trolldorm Cave. We got some bombs. We got a big key to desert. That'll be nice. Half magic. More bombs. And some literacy.
So right there, we can actually get through Desert Palace if it's not boost locked.
Still need a fire source for Lammelus, but yeah, Desert certainly feels like Seed wants us to head that way.
Yeah, it's heading towards that direction, but.
And more love from Ice Rod Cave. And Seto says I'm good there.
As far as this is concerned, give it. There might be, if they're going to get more health, then they're pretty good on protection unless they get a blue mail and something else.
Oh, we got one of the other tiers is for 20 bucks off of the tree. Zelda now going to do Uncle Tunnel. So we're about to see a little bit of divergence. We've got Seto actually heading over towards the desert area, and we'll see what Zelda decides to do after that.
Right. Seto might end up just checking if the Desert Palace it's boost locked or just in case. That'll only leave him to get a fire source.
All right, we got a vanilla piece of heart on the ledge, and Zelga is actually going to go to front of escape. Alright, there's a piece of heart. So, we are gonna be boots locked out of desert. Which is a small key. The hint, the unique item is in Eastern Palace. Well, pretty much logically, that's the only place left we can go, so I guess it makes sense.
Though it is possible that the if there's nothing in those chests or the big chests, then they're gonna have to find the big key for that.
Yep. But at this point, Sahasrala's closet and Eastern Palace are pretty much all we have left at this point, so some sort of progression we're gonna have to find. Oh, I always love it when they freeze the guards.
That is amazing. Of course, we're gonna get the big key for the dungeon as per usual.
Seto, I think, is about to steal a key from the back of desert to do the front, and yep, that's what he's doing.
That is pretty handy.
We'll see if it pays off.
Looks like Zelka's opting to go to the dark room in the backup escape, the sewer section of it.
And technically, without the lamp, this is out of logic.
Yes.
Well, there's your lamp, so, come back with a... Now we just gotta find a small key, the big key for Lamulus. Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you there, Ren.
It's fine. But they found Zelga found a hammer, so that actually... The hammer, the lamp for that... I mean, sure, it still need the lamp eventually, but, this for at least Zelga will be. But the, that paid off for him. Now they're just a moon pearl away from accessing dark. So Zelka is opting to sequence break into Death Mountain.
And Aegina's Cave having a bottle, so that opens up Sick Kid. And old men giving fire rods today.
Nice, and that means that Zelga is the fraudster. We got a fraudster over here, and it's Zelga.
Seto on his way to raid the other old man's closet.
What's with the two runners even raiding the old men? That's rude of them, man.
Ice Palace is green pendant.
Feels like this is going to be like last night. At least that's how I see it.
All right, and we have an Aga Tower key in that closet.
And Zelka finding Quake inside Spectacle Rock, and the Flippers is being held by someone friendly.
Could mean a couple of things.
Zelga unfortunately not being able to get the bomb jump.
Alright, so into Eastern we go. We can get... Right now, without the big key, we can get to 4 of the 6 items that are in here. And as chat pointing out, one of those friendly people that could have the flippers can't be Sahasrara because Ice Palace is a green pendant. We've also got Thieves Town as a red pendant, and Meyer and Potter crystals, non-5/6 variety.
Of course, that won't. This doesn't mean necessarily that they're not gonna have the opportunity to. Oh, okay. So the Ether Tablet brings up the Magic Cape.
And we got some fast footwear in Eastern Palace.
That will now enable them to. So that means now they can get through the rest of Desert Palace once Seto picks up the fire rod. He'll be able to clear that.
Still need the... Oh yeah, we do have the big key. I missed that hint.
The glove is in the Kakariko well.
Woohoo! And we have S-words in Eastern Palace, so the unique items continue to be found.
Looks like a unique item requires the hammer. That could mean the hammer pegs in the Dark World once they get the Titan's Mitt, and a couple other things.
The Moon Pearl's in Paradox Cave. Alright, we got Dark World access.
Amazing.
And there's another piece of heart, so a lot of good value in Eastern, but out we go.
Looks like Zelka found the fire shield over on the big chest.
And if
now...
I had... Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to cut you off there, Ren.
You can go ahead,
I was just gonna say, if I had a hammer, it's time to kill a troll.
Alright. And down goes this weird-looking worm thing.
And the 3rd pendant has been found in Hera.
So, this is normally where I would say that Zelka has taken first blood, but since this is a pendant, not at the moment.
Oh boy,
Oh.
Well, this is still an Agaseed. At least if you want a hook shot. Spoiler alert, you want a hook shot.
So this is going to be really interesting. This means that they're going to have to look for the 2 castle tower keys, the small keys at least, in order to even fight Aga.
We got one of them from Sahasrara's closet.
So yeah, that's one of them. The question is now where the other one is. That's where it lies at the moment.
The worst part is, it could be in a lot of places.
Yeah, this is still very early for these runners.
Alright, so we've got both runners in to Death Mountain. Zelga is now going to do Paradox Cave. We got the hint that one of the items in there is going to be the Moon Pearl.
So that means they could go into the Dark World, of course. Y'all know. Potentially other checks, and we found the big key to Turtle Rock.
Which I should add is one of these rare times that we get the Ice Rod early and Turtle Rock as a crystal.
Yes.
Alright, there's the other sword. Along with a GT small key, and there's the Moon Pearl. So we've got Master Sword. So even though we have Dark World access right now, put everything together, once the other runners find the other things, you could do AGA 1 right now.
Right. Only thing is that, see, Zelka is going to need a cape, which is once he goes into the other location, which she goes into Eastern Palace, he will be able to grab off of the Ether Tablet, and then it's a matter of scrambling up to the castle tower.
Actually, they can logically they can get to AGA Tower with Master Sword. They fixed that bug.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
All right, well, hype time. Small key to pod. We can actually use that. Map to Hyrule Castle, completely useless. And another small key to AGA Tower. All right, AGA, we can get up to AGA and get that hook shot.
That is very, very nice. So Zelka's gonna be pretty happy to find that, because he has not checked the lumberjack cave. So with that, I would like to safely say that's like 8 out of 10.
Certainly, given the circumstances, we also see the desert and eastern are the 5-6 crystals from the bomb vendor.
That's nice, because I don't think we'll have to worry about. I mean, they don't have to. I mean, they're pretty early dungeons, so they're fairly simple anyway. You might as well, if you really want to go for the Pyramid Fairy, if you must, then the option's there. You have the items to even clear those dungeons.
Yeah, Eastern Big Key is the only thing we're still waiting on. But other than that, yeah, Desert can be full cleared at this point.
And some 300 rupees over on K45.
And Seto is about to realize I actually had the ability to get the hammer to go to the rest of Death Mountain.
Right. It looks like Zelka is opting to look into the digging game. And just nothing but 10 arrows. Joy.
Ooh, Sick Kid's got a big key to Thieves Town.
Interesting little find.
Seto looks like he's on his way. Yep, he's on his way back to Desert. Zelga's heading over to the Thieves Town Skullwoods area.
To the back door. That's how I like to refer to it.
So yeah, Seto is going to finish off Desert here.
While he has a chance, Zelka is opting to look into the chests that are offered in Skullwoods.
Pretty much everything in Skullwoods is available to us except the big key chest. You can farm all the keys you would need without getting the ones that could be out in the world.
Right.
And Seto gets that DP small key that was on the torch. If you're new to Keysanity, if the key is a darker color, you know it's the key for that dungeon. If it's a lighter color, it's for any other dungeon other than that one.
Right, because in addition to the other items, regular items that are in the item pool, any of the keys for any of the dungeons can be anywhere in the map. Looks like Zelka's opting to take out Mafia while he has the chance.
That would make sense. At this point, I mean, it is crystal. You got the fire rod. You might as well get it done.
Right. First, he's gonna take a look at the final chest. And nothing but a big 20. It's perfectly fine, I guess. It looks like Seto is opting to take out Lamolus now that he has the a fire source.
Alright. 2 Lambos down. There's the third one.
Smooth fight.
And we got a small key for Pod and the first crystal of the game 27 minutes in, and I would say that's where your first blood is.
Yep, Seto has drawn first blood for real this time. And while Zelka, on the other hand, still not opting to take first blood yet, but instead going to take out a Mafia, which, as we know, is going to be a pendant.
No, it's
fight for Mafia.
No, it's a crystal.
Oh no, it is a crystal?
Yep.
Oh right, forgot the music swaps.
Yeah, Keysanity will do that to you.
Oops. So Zelka does draw first blood. My bad. Well, Zelka draws his secondary blood. I guess that's what you want to call it.
But we're about to get a pedestal check, chat. Let's get that pedestal hype in there.
I don't expect much for this pet check, but just couch cash as I predicted.
Yep.
Yeah, typically the pet's not really that useful, but when it does get useful, we all know it's an all dungeon seed. Only very rare occasions does it happen.
Interesting that Seto is making his way up to the Zora ledge, and it's like, dude, you're about $50 short, and yeah, he kind of realized it.
Yeah, about that. Just like, imagine if you're like if one of those guys that use an eye tracker, he just looks up to the rupee counter like, ah, shoot, I don't have money. Well, time to save and quit and get out of here.
He is gonna go get his mirror from the back of Escape. So you gotta be honest here. One of the reasons why I like Keysanity is I prefer the pendant dungeon music to Crystal Dungeon music, so I get it a lot more often whenever we do a Keysanity run.
I don't blame you. It is a good piece of the track.
Ooh, toot toot! There's the flute. Speaking of music.
Well, there's that was a perfect segue into that. So, Zoka, knowing that he has the flute, he might as well, if he wants to, he could mirror into CAC and then activate the flute. Have that come online. Blah blah blah. This is blah blah blah. Overwatch Ultimate jokes. Blah blah blah.
Well, he checks Bumper Cave.
That too.
And now we're gonna go head over to Village of Outcasts. We'll probably do the other checks as well, but I would imagine when he either goes before going into Thieves Town or coming out, we'll probably mirror and activate that flute as you were saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He can, since he's in the Village of Outcasts, he can mirror into CAC and then activate the flute. And only just a piece of heart in the chess game.
Alright, so one more Village of Outcasts check here. We're going to see the brewery. I'll probably take a dip into Thieves Town. Although Zelga has not gotten that Thieves Town big key from Sick Kid, so he's only going to be able to do the first 4 checks.
Unless he combos that. But instead, he's going to just take the first four chests and potentially mirror out, grab Sick Kid, activate the flute, and happy times.
Alright, Thieves Town front area has the 3rd pod key. And yeah, Sick Kid is the only bottle that we know of, and or the bottle's at Aeginus Cave, and
True.
we haven't, and he hasn't been to the desert area yet at all.
True. Found the map to Turtle Rock, so we already know that it's a candidate. And there's a Bombos on the 4th chest.
Yep. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, to honor Hyrule, please join us for the playing of the National Swagdeck Anthem. And with that, the Hawk's about to rock, and we salute
Loose
you.
is now loose! The foul was on the prowl. As one chat member says.
And with that flute, as we were talking about said bottle, Zelga is making his way over to the desert area.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Since he has the flute, he is able to look at these. He's able to look at the desert palace, but well, sure he doesn't. Sure, for him, his boots locked, but that will still enable him to go over to Aeginus Cave and then make his way all the way over to Sick Kid, and that will let him clear Thieves Town. That is, if he wants to do it, because this is a pendant after all.
However, we did forget about the small little problem that Zelga also hasn't been to Eastern and hasn't gotten the boots.
That too. Well, Seto over here is going to grab his Moon Pearl in Paradox Cave. as well as his big game for Turtle Rock. There's the Moon Peril for Seto. It's now Dark World's enabled for him. Given how Seto is a little bit behind, potentially with the boots he could speed it up, but we'll see what happens.
Zelga choosing to just go kill Lanmo instead of stealing the key for the right side, so he will still not have the lamp at this point.
Right.
Now, the interesting thing here at this point is we now, at least with Seto, he has the Master Sword, so he has everything that he still needs to get the other Aga Tower key, which he's going to get here at Hype Cave. So he could do Aga 1. My question is, when would you do it? Because the thing is, even though we have it, we really don't have a dungeon like Mire or Swamp or Ice. I guess if you wanted to sequence break into Ice, maybe you could do that. But there really isn't a dungeon right now that's really on the table that's like, I really need that hook shot right now.
I say get it out of the way now while you have the chance. And this looks like that's what Seto's going to do. Get it out of the way, grab his hook shot, potentially look in the remaining checks, like probably Hookshot Cave, a few, and then other spots. If he really needs to, he can grab the Magic Cape off of Ether, take a look at Spike Cave. But that's really just a case scenario.
But Seto is gonna do it. He's climbing the tower.
Yep. What I figured he would do. Get it out of the way now, rather than like hold it off for a prolonged period of time. Because eventually he will need a hook shot. And actually he will need a hook shot anyway, because Swamp Palace is still, well, at least I can imagine Swamp Palace is a crystal. Because of the...
Yep, sorry.
Yeah, because of the fact, like, because you have to consider that a hook shot is going to be useful to get take out Argus and for the first phase at least. So
I was also gonna say we got the. So while you were talking about Swamp, we actually did find the Swamp Palace small key in the first Aga Tower chest, but I missed what was the second one.
I missed it too because I was on my little tangent about Swamp Palace. If we get a confirmation there, then okay. So the second test was just a big 20, nothing too special.
All right. And with 3 pod small keys, Zelga is gonna go ahead and make the attempt at pod.
Which I can understand this play.
Yeah, with 3 keys, plus you have the bow. If you know how to hammer yump, you can pretty much check everything except Helmassar.
Look, if I know the Green Pendants in Ice Palace. So, as Seto is coming up on Aga right now, get your guess in chat on how many blue balls that Aga might throw at Seto. Because we all know we like blue balls. Blue balls are a lit. Go on.
Nothing. All right. I was gonna make a joke, but you made one, so no sense in us comboing on jokes. Zelga into Eastern, and there's the first blue ball.
Perfect.
There's 2.
Yay, this is fun.
There's 3.
Oh boy. Seto's banging his head in the wall because he's thinking, I don't want blue balls. Stop it, Aga. I'm not that kind of guy.
Well, there's 4.
It's just
Do I hear 5? Nope.
I'm dying right now.
There's 5.
Oh, I love when people attend when Aga's in play. Aga 1's in play.
All right, do I hear 6? We have 6.
Oh my god. So, I guess so we could explain this. We have there are 5 different patterns that Aga can do on a single cycle. The first one will always be a regular energy ball. Then for patterns 2, 3, and 4, he can throw either an energy ball or a blue ball. And then on the 5th one, he will always throw lightning and the pattern restarts.
And with that, Aga has 7 blue balls for us today, and to their name, Talwin7 guessed 7. So congratulations, Talwin7, you win a year's supply of nothing.
Well, but Seto here gets what I like to call the Infinity Gauntlet. This is the Titan's Mitt. That's his reward for taking on Aga 1 for his victory.
Not to mention a hook shot inside a tree.
Yeah, that too. Which he's gonna make a beeline for that right now.
So remember earlier how we were talking about, well, I don't know. Part of me wants to think about Sequence breaking into Ice Palace, but
considering it's a pendant, if Seto really, really wants to, he can head into Ice Palace, but it's not a necessity right now.
That is true.
But with that, Seto is gonna go grab the hook shot, and now, at least, it's possible that Swap Palace is going to be pointed towards that if he so chooses.
I mean, it is a sequence break because we don't have the flippers, but yes, he is heading for the Skullwoods area. Ice is a sequence break without the flippers, sorry.
Right.
Now, one thing we should point out, Seto is the only one, at least of our featured runners, that has seen that hook shot is on the Lumberjack ledge.
Yes, that is true. Zoga hasn't really realized that until now. But given that... Oh, okay. Zoga found silver arrows.
Those would certainly be useful.
Very, very useful. But Zoga, well, I mean, he might have a hint that there might be something over on Aga, and you might, you would be right, but that would be after he had taken out Aga.
So the thing is only having 3 keys right now. Logically for Pod, well, there's a 4th. most of the stuff here in the back is not going to be... The logic won't consider us being able to get it just yet.
Right.
Because the logic has to assume that you use your keys wrong.
Right, but of course, this is not a big deal for Zelga, for any of the future runners.
Yeah, no, I agree with you that for most of our runners, they're not going to be worrying about the logic of pod. It's just one thing to bear in mind if we find anything of use, is that logically, we're going to need to find the other keys before we can, for example, get that small key to Hera.
Right. But since both the runners have already went through here, are actually well, as I say that Zelga picked up the big key to Swamp Palace. They could also look at the fire-locked chest if they so choose. And Seto is opting to clear Mafia too.
Makes sense. Ooh, but takes a death.
Yikes. But of course, this is actually pretty early in that part of the dungeon, so it's not really that big of a time loss for Seto. Zelga having a little bit of trouble with the hammer bridge.
Yeah, it is double pixel perfect. It
Right.
looks like he's got it, though.
That's good.
And does... Oh, I forgot. We still don't have a big key, so we're not getting that chest.
Right. So
we're leaving 2 items on the table. And there's the big key to Skullwoods in the dark maze.
not really a necessity, but if they want to go to check that, the option's there for them.
Hey, you never know what could be hiding in that big chest.
Right. I mean, it's possible that Ether or the last medallion is possibly there. A couple progression items. I guess namely flippers.
Yeah, at this point, we've got flippers we gotta find. We need Cane of Samaria. We need an Eastern big key. We need a Pod big key. We need a Meyer big key. And a bunch of Turtle Rock small keys.
Right. I mean, I really encourage people to. I kind of encourage the use of having finding all three medallions, just so that they can get so that I don't have to worry about what even is on Misery Mire or Turtle Rock. Because I've seen time and time again that people, if they're having two medallions or something, and they find out that there's I guess, I don't know, Ether or Quake is on one of the pendants, or at least on one of the dungeons for Misery Mire and Turtle Rock, then another extra couple minutes of finding that.
Oh! Yo, dog, I heard you like fetch quests, so I put a fetch quest in your fetch quest, so you can fetch quest while you fetch quest.
Well...
And Zelga is about to realize that I have to do Aga 1. Yeah,
this is gonna be fortunate for Zelga. I mean, if you after saying that that meme, I can't think Steins;Gate for like a second.
Well, you know.
It's all about the
I'll be here all week. Tip your waiters and waitresses.
Okay then.
But, alright, so... Back of Thieves Town certainly still on the table.
Right.
We've got the 6 items in the Dark World Death Mountain. We're about to see Graveyard Ledge here. Just trying to think where the next progression would be. And Seto, even with the big key granted Thieves Town as a pendant, he's deciding I'm good and I'm gonna activate a flute.
Zelkana opting to pick up a map, figuring out, I mean, I wouldn't blame them because we already, at this point, we know where the pendants are. Where all the, at least all the collectibles are found. But Zelka instead going to take a look at King's Tomb.
Good idea, get all the Flanktuary locations out of the way while you're here. And just a big 20, though.
Right, but it still knocks out a check. Any check any check, regardless of how good it is, how good or bad it is, still it's still one check down.
Mm-hmm. Zelga, yeah, you're kind of forgetting your flippy flips.
Right.
Or I think this is a... Yeah, he's trying to set up a fake flipper, actually.
This is a fake flipper I have not yet seen. It's probably the more complex. It's the most more complex of the fake flippers that you can do. Generally, most runners will go through Lake Hylia, the bottom of Lake Hylia, and then go into that transition, and then just make their way through Hobo and a couple other locations. And speaking of, that's exactly what Zelka's going to do.
Alright, Peg Cave. $300. That'll certainly help.
Yeah. I mean, now, at this point, both runners can check Zora. But Seto is opting to take a look at the blacksmith.
Yep. Returning Jeremiah home. And the reward for bringing him across dimensions, just some bombs.
And a big 20 on Hobo. But in addition, Seto's gonna take a look at the purple lunchbox that strangely looks like a chest. I don't know why it looks like a chest, but it does.
Yep, and go take it to a guy named Gary sitting near a desert. Why these things are things, we may never know.
I'm guessing Gary Oak lost his lunch. He's a spoiled little brat.
But we are going to get a look at Meyer, which we could go in. But we need Ether to get in.
That's what I've been trying to. That's been what I've been saying. It's important to get all 3 pendants, just so that you don't have to worry about 10 extra minutes or something like that.
Alright, well, As I always like to say, there was a fish named Zora who gives you flippers and vanilla, but in Rando he sucks. For 500 bucks, we did this stupid trek for a red shirt.
I mean, now at least gives him more protection. That's just something.
I mean, it is useful, don't get me wrong, I will certainly use it. But Zelga is now gonna make his way up to the Aga Tower.
Right. Seems like Seto is, stuck.
His stream might come back.
Right. For the moment, while Zeto is trying to come back online, we're gonna just take a look and see Selga and his continued antics without a lamp. I mean, sure he's got a fire log, but still.
All right, so while we're going back over this, the question at this point essentially is, again, where do you go from here? We don't have the flippers, so we can't get into swamp. Ice, we could sequence break into, but realistically, you're looking at Dark Death Mountain, back of Thieves Town, maybe a coffee break in Hera, but not much. One of those places has to have something.
Right.
Lana Bean in chat asking Eastern to get Pyramid Ferry. We still don't have the big key, but I like where your head's at.
Yeah, once they find the big key to Eastern, it is very much a plausible option. Given that we already found the Infinity Gauntlet on the Pyramid Ledge, it's about a. I want to take a shot in the dark and say, go up into Dark Death Mountain, take a look at what Turtle Rock is, and just get that out of the way immediately, and then wherever the and then just go from there. I guess that's my assumption, at least.
Alright, well, while Zelga deals with his 7 blue balls, Seto is gonna go disturb a Quakefish.
I'd like the sync from Zelga here.
Oh! That friendly flippers was from a friendly fish!
Sure, it's the it's the dark version of Zora. It's French vanilla, I guess. I guess you could put it. I don't know.
I'll take it. So I would definitely make a beeline for Swamp Palace now.
Yeah, if I was Seto right now, I would immediately go into Swamp Palace. This sync is getting to me. This syncing to the music, swinging to the music. I have no clue what happened over at Seto here.
I think he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do.
Maybe.
But now he's gonna go get a... Well, for him, it'll be a blue shirt.
Right. Protection,
right.
again, protection's still always nice to have.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zelka's gonna grab his Infinity Gauntlet.
Alright, Seto does head south. Zelga is on his way to get his flippers. And yeah, I think this is Swamp.
Yeah. For Zelka, it's nice for him because since he had already finished Aga, it's nice just for him to get it out of the way for him. He'll be a little bit closer to Seto. And with that, we're gonna head look into Seto and get Swamp Palace and a pretty good hint for all things considered. Some arrows requires the hammer.
And we got the pod big key in Swamp Palace.
That's nice. Zelka now gonna grab his hook shot.
Small key to Turtle Rock in Swamp Palace as well. And Zelga is gonna join Seto in Swamp.
Which is a bad idea because that'll put him right up close to Seto. Now, both runners taking pretty similar routes through the Swamp Palace here.
Yeah, there's some thought to going right for Argus, but with how much stuff we still have to find, you're gonna end up full clearing Swamp Palace at this point anyway.
Right, because they already have hook shot. and especially for Zelga, given that he comboed, not only did he combo Affinity Gauntlets with the catfish to grab his flippers, but it still puts the runners very close to each other, and because they'll be able to full clear with the other things.
And the one difference is Zelga has the big key, and that's big because he's got ether.
That is very, very good for Zelga. That's going to put him in contention to look into Mr. Meyer. I mean, sure, he hasn't checked out Turtle Rock yet. None of the runners took to look into Turtle Rock, but the option is there. The seed is pointing into that direction. So we're gonna take a look at a few chest locations before opting to grab the ether.
He doesn't have the big key. He hasn't been to pod yet.
Oh, true.
And that's actually going to be a problem, because he's going to get that Swamp House big key whenever he goes to pod. It may be a while before he comes back.
That is true. So, I guess for the moment, Seto is opting to clear out the rest of Swamp Palace, and then take out Argus. And then once he gets into pod, then he'll be back in contention. So for the moment, Zelga is technically in the lead.
Speaking of Meyer, we got one of the small keys in the back of Swamp Palace.
So now, Seto is going to be taking on Argus, the one with the strange little puffballs that, for some reason, are only affected by just a little hook thingy, portable hook, or what is a grappling hook? Whoops.
Video game logic.
Yeah. Cheeto balls. Yeah, there we go. And so making pretty good work on Argus, and that's going to take it over to his next crystal.
It'll be 3 for both of our featured runners once they finish.
Yeah, but still, keep in mind that Zelga is technically in the lead due to his advantage with the pod, and I'm grabbing ether that quick.
Alright, Seto, where are you heading next? Goes to 4. See where he... Oh yeah, he never did hobo.
Right. But even then, he could possibly look into, if he really wants to, go into Ice Palace. Well, sure, it's a pendant. It doesn't mean that it's completely out of the question. If I were playing this right now, I would pretty much go for Ice Palace just to make sure there's something in there that would be of value. But it looks like Seto's not gonna do it.
So if I'm in Zelga's shoes, I would definitely... Part of me wants to finish off Pod. Part of me kind of wants to wait for the Eastern Big Key. Part of me wants to kind of head up to Dark Death Mountain. Zelga's going to show us Bombo's tablet, which I don't think Seto's checked yet.
No. And pretty much, he can check it now because since version 30.4, those tablets have been fixed, so progression can be found on there, including swords.
Or bacon. We can find bacon on Bombo's tablets.
See, I told you, that bug has been fixed.
And Zelga is going to head up to Death Mountain, which I think would mean he's heading for the Dark One.
Yeah, that's his option here. Looks like he is gonna be heading there. Looks like Seto is gonna open up pod.
And dead rocked again.
Why wouldn't he call them troll rocks yet? It's like an accurate representation of what 95% of runners do. Well, not 95%, but it's a close approximation of it.
Yeah. Seto kind of messed up and used the key on the door. Gets his silvers. Quake is Turtle Rock. Seto's not feeling really too good right now.
Yeah, that's gonna mean quite a number of things for Seto moving forward. So that means he's gonna be very, very cautious as he moves through Dark Palace. Interesting little find.
He does get the Swamp Big Key, though.
Right. It looks like Selga is... Oh, no, wait, he's gonna take a look at Super Bunny Cave.
Alright, we got a Turtle Rock small key and a map.
Yeah, not too useful yet.
And I would assume Hookshot Cave is on the docket, followed by getting that small key that's on the floating island. And Butter. We have confirmed Butter.
Sweet.
There's the 5th pod key.
So nothing really too special for Hookshot Cave, at least for Zelga, that can lead towards more progression. But he does have a butter sword, so that's something.
And now we're about to see what other small key he might be obtaining. How about a Meyer one?
Sure thing.
And we're gonna get the cape off of the ether tablet.
Sounds like he wants to look into Spike Cave.
He could do that, but first he's gonna take a coffee break.
Yeah, but that might be a better option to go for the coffee break than look into Spike Cave, since it's en route.
I mean, think about it. You're an hour and 15 minutes in. Like, you want to set the controller down. You want to, stretch those fingers. You want to hope that your people watching you on chat are going to give you a follow on Twitch for both Selga-san and Seto10987. Just the simple things.
Or potentially lay out some options for himself just to figure out where can I go from here now. Because right now there's very few things that could lead to something in the long term, because it is feeling linear, right? Sort of linear. With his options set, he's gonna look into the Firelock's chest.
All right, and it is a small key. It's a Thieves' Town small key, which that is from the Hera small key that Seto is going to leave to go kill Helmassar instead. And to your earlier point, Zelga is going to do Spike Cave.
Yeah, that's what I figured he would do. Because, as I said, it is en route.
Well, it's just a burrito for Ice Palace.
So now, it's becoming more likely that, at least for now, I mean, if he really wants to, this. So, what are our options right now? My assumption is to probably look into to go into Ice Palace, at least for a side option, or potentially go through Thieves' Town and kill off. Or no, that's still a Panda Dungeon, right?
Yeah, Ice is a pendant dungeon. It is a green pendant. But
right,
Zelga,
and so is Turtle Rock. I mean, not Turtle Rock, Thieves' Town.
Zelga's going to turn in the mushroom for sticks. And get a hard reset to hold on to a potential fake powder.
That's nice. That's gonna be it's nice of it. That's gonna be a good option for him, since they'll give another check out of the way, not having to go for outer.
All right, Helmassar down for Seto for some swag. And I think Zelga got off at the wrong exit. He's heading for Meyer now.
I mean, it's nice. It would be nice to just open it up and then take a look at the remaining checks there.
You can pretty much do everything but Vitreous at this point.
Right.
Also gonna get Checkerboard Cave while we're here. We have not seen that because we didn't have the mirror at the time. Both runners were in the desert area, and just a big 20.
Yeah, that's another check out of the way. It seems like at this point now Zelga is gonna probably open up Mr. Meyer, which he is gonna be doing.
yeah, Mire and Ice Palace are kind of the two dungeons we have at this point that we can actually get in and find anything.
Right.
Ooh. Zelga ran out of magic and with no lamp, had to chug a blue potion in order to get that done.
Unfortunate. But for now, Seto does grab a carrot, even though this is the butter sword because he hasn't looked into Bombo's tablet.
And now enduring a cutscene.
Pretty long and arduous cutscene, at that fact. Zoka finding out that the purple chest does have cash, which we've already seen. And just a bit telling. Move along.
Alright, so just to recap, we're still looking for the Eastern Big Key. We're still looking for at least one more Charter Rock small key. And we need the Mire Big Key.
And Samaria.
Oh, you're right, Samaria. We do need that too.
Right.
Alright, there's that shield we saw from the hint.
So that's all. That's pretty much that's full protection at least. Sure, it's not sure it's not max hearts, but it's still max protection nonetheless.
Alright, that's all the checks. Without the big key, we're heading out. So really... which pendant dungeon do you want to do? Thieves Town or Ice Palace? Zelga says Ice Palace.
That's what I've been trying to hint at for a good majority of the time. Since Ice Palace has not been looted yet, and since Seto is probably not going to be looking into that anytime soon, for the moment at least, you might as well get Ice Palace out of the way now, rather than just double dip. I mean, so people are they're gonna have to double dip out of the way if Ice Palace does not bring up anything of value.
Unique item is in the dark.
That could have possibly been the hammer over on Dark Cross.
Yes. That would make sense. So, thanks, game. We kind of already figured that one out.
Right.
Alright, Seto is going to the other pendant dungeon and is going to do the back of Thieves Town.
Both are huge gambles for the two runners, because one of these runners could possibly take the lead if they find something of value inside. If they find anything anything that's useful to progress the game right then and there.
Now, the only problem for Seto is, though, the Ether Medallion which we need to get into Mire is in the Swamp Palace big chest, and Seto had not been to Pod to get said big key, so he's cleared out all of Swamp except for that big chest, so it may be a while before he goes back to Swamp to check that one chest.
That is That is true.
He also does not have the Thieves Town small key, which honestly I missed where that small key was, but excuse me. So we won't be able to see that either.
Right. So Zelga pulling off a good Ice Palace bomb jump. So far, Seto not bringing up anything useful. There's only 2 more checks that could possibly happen, and that is the chest by the maiden, and then blind himself. Or possibly the Thieves Town big chest.
Alright, the item in the Maiden's cell is a bloomerang.
Not quite what we're looking for, but it's yeah, it's something.
Eastern big key, Meyer big key, Turtle Rock small key, Canis Samaria. Meyer big key. Alright, we got one of them. It's an Ice Palace.
So far, so good. That means he will be able to full clear Meyer. Potentially, let's see what Vitreous has on that chest.
And we got Kane in Ice Palace as well, so there's your Misery Meyer care package.
That's, yeah. What? You honestly expect me to say that's gotta be Kane? Shoot, I said it.
Alright, got another GT small key. I missed what was on blind.
I missed it too, unfortunately. Just a Skull Void's small key on blind. That means Zelga has the upper hand here. Canis Samaria has already been attained, so Ice Palace is the play, and as well as the Misery Meyer big key. A little bit of trouble in that room, but he'll get through it.
Alright, so that means at this point we still need a Turtle Rock small key and an Eastern big key, and that will be go mode for Zelga.
It is possible that Turtle Rock may have it, but don't count your bets on it just yet. It could also be on Vitreous if he wants to full clear Ice Palace, possibly on Cold Stare.
He's gonna go for Ice Palace and go for that green pendant.
Yeah, and also, and also Shirashla as well, that too.
Alright, Zelga drains his magic meter, puts Cold Stare in a quarter, takes a couple Butter Sword slashes, and blink and you miss it. Cold Stare's dead.
Smooth fight from Zelga. With that, we found the Meyer small key. It's not exactly what we wanted, as far as I'm concerned. Or as I'm aware, at least.
Seto now gonna join Zelga in Ice Palace.
Yeah, Seto feels very much behind at this point. Given the fact that he did not, given the fact that he won the Thieves Town and Zelga making the upper hand plays to get Kane and the big key for Meyer.
Not to mention, Seto still has to go back to Swamp Palace to get that Ether Medallion to even get into the mire in the first place.
Yeah, that's that too.
Alright, 2 items away from Go Mode still, Zelga is still going to be making checks. Mire big chest, just money.
So at least now, with every check they do, at least Zelka does, he's one step closer to getting one of the 2 items. That's something you have to. That's something I would like to consider, because like, if I'm in this state right now, then just like, okay, I've already done this check. My options now are slimmer now, and it's narrowing narrowing down the possible locations, and yeah.
For those asking in chat, the lamp is in the right side of Desert Palace. Zelga never got the small key for Desert, so never did it, but lamps, where we're going, we don't need lamps.
Right. Especially, this has been entirely a lampless run, which is pretty impressive, given Zelga here. Since that particular location is pretty out of the way for a lot of runners, especially in this state, how the seed has been treating us. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Ooh, just a bit outside. Or wait, he's setting up spooky action, I think. Yeah, he set up spooky action. Very nicely done.
So that's what it's called.
Yeah, it's a glitch that allows you to basically hit switches with using the Fire Rod, and you get through quicker to get to the eyeball shooting gallery.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about Seto here, not Zelga. Whoops, my bad. But this will be a quick work for him.
Again, blink and you miss it. Vitri is down. And that should be crystal number 4 for Zelga.
Right. So now, since Zelga, since Mr. Meyer hasn't really brought up much, my best bet now is Laser Bridge.
Well, technically, right now we can't get to Laser Bridge.
Well, yeah, but well then at least look at Turtle Rock while they have the chance.
Mm-hmm. No, he's gonna finish Pod first while he's here.
Yeah, I can understand why he would do that, just so we can get it out of the way and potentially get another check out of the way. So we still haven't figured out where the heck that Eastern Big Key or what else was there?
We need at least one Turtle Rock small key.
Turtle Rock, right. Just gonna take a look at Shirashula and just some money. Move along?
Yep. Trying to think if there's anywhere in the overworld we haven't seen yet.
magic bats with a fake powder.
Which Zelga could do.
It's an out of the way check though. At least for him at the moment. If the logic points to that, then that would be something.
You do wonder if Zelga decides to finish Thieves Town before heading for Turtle Rock, though.
I wouldn't really do it because given the fact that Turtle Rock not Turtle Rock, Thieves Town didn't really bring up much for him. For at least Seto, it's pretty much be a waste.
Well, there's still the Thieves Town big chest, because Seto did not have the small key.
Right, that too.
So there is at least one item there that we have not seen.
Right. As we mentioned that, all we really found was just a burrito for Hera, and at least now, with that knowledge in mind, just gonna just forget who needs burritos. We're gonna fight a big old helmeted dinosaur thing, Helmosaur.
Seto gets cold stare in a corner, but just uses the fire rod. Gets 2 of the puffballs down. There's number 3.
Krakos, I guess.
I'm trying to remember what Krakos is.
That's Kirby. It's a boss for Kirby.
Man, it has been way too long. Zelga wisely lighting the torch so can try to take out the turtles before heading on to Helmsar.
Yeah, I could see that.
Literally and figuratively.
Oh, okay then.
And Seto, this might be for Turtle Rock.
This is gonna be a pretty unfortunate play for him because he still hasn't. We have not found the Turtle Rock small key.
I mean, if you're Seto, this makes sense. You're still looking for Ether. Turtle Rock is going to be one of the places where you have access to the most items.
Right. But as we are aware, Ether is not near that at all. But I can respect him for going there. But Zelga is going to be following suit. But with the upper hands because of for a multitude of different reasons. Because what specifically, as we mentioned before, the ether.
All right, into Turtle Rock we go. Logically, right now, we can't get to Laser Bridge.
Right.
We need a 3rd key before we can do that.
It is possible that that key is is gonna be in Turtle Rock.
Yep.
So for Seto at least, this will give him a slight edge over Zelga, but not by much.
I mean, that ether is huge at this point.
Right.
Because Seto can't get to Meyer.
Right.
Alright, we got a Kane of Brian in Turtle Rock.
Right, but that's not really much of value for this late in the game. The only way I could possibly see it was if it was found earlier. If by some chance Samaria was by some chance someone went to Ice Palace earlier and picked it up and had not picked up the cape. But that's in that one specific case, not by much.
Alright, so at this point you assume they're gonna orphan the vanilla big key chest here, so they can use that key to get to Laser Bridge.
That would be a wise decision from the runners. And that is what Seto was gonna do. He's gonna hold off on the big key chest and make his way over to Laser Bridge.
Yeah, at this point, logically, Mimic Cave and the big chest of Turtle Rock are the only logical locations we have at this point, unless we find another Turtle Rock small key in one of them.
Right. It seems like Seto is opting to go for Mimic Cave.
Which makes sense.
Right.
Alright, we got a small key. There's the third Turtle Rock key.
So that means now... that means... Well, for Seto, he still has to find the ether, but for Zelga, this is huge. He could possibly pull what's inside the big key chest, as the big chest is only just a bottle. But at this point, all Seto's thinking right now is Laser Bridge. Another Dark Palace small key. Not really useful for the runners at this point.
But that's all 6.
Right.
Alright, so here we go with Laser Bridge. Piece of heart. There's the 4th key.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Zelga's gonna high-five Seto here.
Alright, second piece of heart. Last chest. Bombs. So... I mean, you killed Trinex, but you are gonna want to go back and check that vanilla big key chest.
It is likely that the vanilla big key chest might contain the Easter Palace big key.
Which is... So we're gonna see it from both of them. Seto's going for vanilla big key, Zelga's going for Trinex.
One of these two checks is gonna be the if Zelga goes into go mode or no mode.
Could also be a shovel or powder.
Or that too.
Could also be Ice Palace big key.
Well, that's gonna be unfortunate.
Alright, big 20 of vanilla big key chest. Trinex down. Moment of truth. Big key for Eastern.
Eastern Palace.
1 hour, 46 minutes, 8 seconds. Zelga Dasan is in go mode.
This is huge for Zelga. Since he's right there now. Oh no, wait, he still has to do Ace of Palace, right? Jumping ahead, getting ahead of myself. Pedestal was only couched at cash. Zelga's gonna make the big dash to the right now. A huge beeline for the Armos Nice.
And then from there, just gotta run the gauntlet.
And yep, that will do.
Drosy asking, was Aga 1 actually required? Yeah, hook shot was on Lumberjack Ledge.
Yeah. What a crazy seed this has been. Now Seto is gonna realize that once he gets the Eastern Palace big key, he still hasn't found where exactly that ether is, for him at least.
We know it's at the Swamp Palace big chest, though, unfortunately.
Right. And he probably has not gone for that at all during his entire run through.
Oh,
Seto is on dangerously low health, though.
Just one heart. Gotta be careful. Alright. He's gotta dodge here, and phase 1's done.
Successfully makes a dodge.
Now just gotta dodge the big snake.
And that'll do.
And while Seto takes care of Trinex, Ashes, the Armos Knights fall down. Arrow of Destiny for Zelga, and that is crystal number 7. So on to Ganon's Tower we go.
And since this is Keysanity, we don't need to worry about the big key guessing game over in the bottom of basement of GT. After all, we did find the big key all the way during like the very, very beginning of the game over in the chicken hut.
Yep.
I saw you. I saw Chad guessing. You thought it was just an open seed. No, it's a Keysanity seed. I have an all-seeing eye. Anyway, that was absolutely horrible. Seto now gonna go check big chests, I'm guessing?
Vanilla big key chest. That was the one chest he missed.
I mean, at this point, he doesn't. For Pod. Right. But
he's just retracing his steps, trying to find ether.
Right. He has to go back into Swamp Palace. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually does realize that and until much later.
And up to the gauntlet we go. The randomization is done. You got Butter Sword, you got Riot Shield, you got Red Mail, you got 16 hearts, you got silver arrows. At this point, you just gotta make your way through the gauntlet of enemies and get on your way to the end.
Only thing that stands between Zelga is just a whole bunch of mimics and a whole bunch of other enemies, and admittedly three land snakes, and the giant boar, and the sorcerer, and a pig.
I mean, thinking back on it, this was pretty much your standard Keysanity race. There wasn't yeah, there was a couple of troll items, certainly that ether medallion. There wasn't anything that was particularly devious, I would say.
Right. In fact, it did feel pretty linear when it came to the very end. Once you piece together the puzzle.
Alright, Lamo 2 down for Zelga.
At this point, it's Zelga's race to lose. Given the nature of the events that had transpired over on Seto's side, I mean, don't get me wrong, both did an amazing job tonight, so I wouldn't shame them for something as simple as an ether medallion, but they did a really good job nonetheless.
Again, please be sure to give both of them follows on Twitch for the entertainment they have certainly give us tonight, and being our featured runners here on this daily race. Again, we have 25 people running, so just because you don't get featured doesn't mean we have other people. All right, this might be going back to Swamp for Seto.
Right. And I have been checking a little bit. Some people did have forfeit, which I can completely understand. It's the ether medallion being in such an awkward spot for some runners. I can get why it could be like that. To mention a couple other devious locations, for at least in their minds, at least.
He's gonna check Bombo's tablet first, and gonna get butter from there. But with the butter that Zelga has, it's time for the geometry wars. Ooh, almost had a triple there, but a nice double start.
Nice start though. But only getting a single for this one.
So that should get him to 4. is 5 and 6.
A 2, 1, 1, 2.
And with that, Aga 2 is down, and it is time for the big pig.
Zelga, the music's already over. You can stop dinging the door now. Seto making his way through East Swamp Palace now that he realizes that's where he has to be.
Alright.
At this point, it's too little too late.
Yep. 6 Butter Sword slashes for phase 1 and 2. Dodge some fire bats, and you are on to phase 3.
Now Seto is in go mode. Now that he picked up his ether tablet. We sure did find the silvers in the dark world. More specifically, no wait, I think I said Dark Palace. Oops.
Yep. And 2 doubles for Zelga the Sun, and that will do it.
GG to Zelga.
Just gotta wait for that door to open up.
Like 3 tiles lied, and he has finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 40 seconds in 3rd place, behind Actaboker with a time of 1:46.51 in 1st place, and Goomba 90 with a time of 1:55.07 in 2nd.
Spam those GGs in chat for Zelga.
We'll see if we can get an interview for him. Hit him in for an interview. It looks like he will be joining us. Get him in just a second.
And joining us in chat is Zelga-san. GG.
Hey, GG's, thank you.
GG, man.
So, how you feeling?
This one was a little rough. I broke a few rules of Keysanity. Number 1, which is start your timer, and number 2 is go to the places you can finish. And double dipping Meyer when I could have gone it and done ice first is really.
Yeah, I mean, Meyer is of course tempting because it was a crystal dungeon today, but Pendant Ice Palace won out with that Misery Meyer care package.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, getting that big key on the right and the Cane of Samaria was it was kind of demoralizing. I mean, that's just kind of how it is, though. In the nature of rando, it could be anywhere.
All right, I want to update some times real quick while we have a moment. Blaine came in 4th place at 1:57.03. Frostbite 3030, 5th place, 1:57.22. Weighty Words came in at 6th place with 1:57.30. And Hitzian 1137, 7th place at 1:58.15. Next question I would have for you, Zelga, is had a little bit of trouble with a very interesting fake flipper attempt to try to get to Catfish, it looked like.
Yeah, so I know that's a relatively recent new bomb jump that Kern discovered, and I've never practiced it once. So I was like, I'm just going to YOLO this. I'm going to nail it within the first 6 or 7 bombs that I have, and it never happened, man. So I got to learn what the little trick is to that.
Yeah, it was kind of funny how it just, or more ironic that Catfish had the real flippers.
Yeah, by the time I was going there, I knew it either had to be Zora or Catfish, pretty much, because Ice Palace being the green pendant, that Sahasrahla wasn't going to give me the flippers. And I still was wondering if the lamp might be on Zora. But I mean, I eventually figured out it had to be on the right side of Desert with the vanilla big key on the torch. But
Yep.
It was one of those things where I just I wasn't totally sure. And I wanted to get them both with the mirror, but then I just got frustrated. It's like, I'll just fake flipper normally.
Yeah, the difference between you and Seto stole the key from the back and went to the front and got the lamp before getting the desert big key, and you just went right for Lambo and basically went the whole race without the lamp.
Yeah, it took me a little while longer than I had hoped to figure out that the lamp had to be on the right side of desert, but it was one of those things where by the time I realized it, there was no point getting it, and I just had to kind of hope and pray that that second chest over there on the right wasn't the Eastern big key or something dumb like that.
Right.
Very interesting that Turtle Rock had two of the small, well, one kind of French vanilla and Mimic Cave, but two Turtle Rock keys in Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock and Keysanity always just seems to have something that you need in Turtle Rock itself.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't count Ganon's Tower, it's got the second most items of any dungeon, only behind Pod. So it makes sense that it's kind of a treasure trove.
Yep. Okay, quick update. Salty Fry, 8th place, 159.38. And we have a PB from D Demolisher 1, 9th place, 2 hours, 0 minutes, and 12 seconds. That is a personal best by 7 minutes. Congrats to D Demolisher. So, let's see. Trying to think of what else we had. Aga. Oh. When were you suspecting that Aga might have something, or was that just kind of a lumberjack check? Just kind of I'm here, I might as well check it.
By the time I checked, I had both keys and a Master Sword, and I knew the lamp was in logic, so it was kind of like, there's got to be something behind this. So I figure I might as well check it with my other boot stuff.
Right. I could see that too, because given the fact that the two Castle Tower keys were given to you pretty relatively early, and since you had the chance, you might as well just get it out of the way.
Yeah, the one problem Seto ran into was he did not go to Pod before going to Swamp Palace, so he left the Ether Medallion in the Swamp Big Chest for the longest time, and he got it now and is now about to run the gauntlet.
Yeah, that always feels bad, leaving behind a single chest. Like, I know I did Hera Basement long after I did Hera, because you never know what's in that one chest, and it's always on the back of your mind. So that always feels bad when you get the key after you leave the place.
Well, and that's all. I mean, that was especially with this seed, but with Keysanity, so often are you leaving like one-off locations inside of dungeons that, could potentially come back to bite you, when you find those missing keys.
Right. That's kind of the nature, is that when you play Keysanity, you kind of go into it knowing I'm going to double dip at least one thing that I didn't actually have to. And you just kind of learn to live with that. And then sometimes it just really burns you.
Yeah, it's the way of life in the vast world of Keysanity. For like the few people that play it. Anyway.
All right, a couple more incoming. Shire, 10th place, 2 hours, 3 minutes, 8 seconds. Prier, 57, 11th place, 2 hours, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. GG's to both of them. So, trying to think if there's really anything else. I mean, seem to have good execution on the bosses. Seemed like a pretty straightforward Keysanity seed. I'm not really remembering anything else that was of any major significance to kind of go back over on the race.
Nothing I can think of either.
No, they're kind of like you said. It was kind of a standard Keysanity race. I felt pretty good about breaking up the Death Mountain early, but getting the hammer from the darkness really helped. And I was able to, when I got the hint for the Moon Pearl and Hera, I felt really good about that. But that also meant that I skipped the boots for a very long time. So it wasn't all roses.
Mhm.
It felt pretty linear near the end. Just now that I think about it. Once you solved the pieces and once you solved the puzzle and yeah, that's my mentality at least. Anyway, keep going.
All right. Well, Zelga, you're welcome to stick around here. I mean, Seto shouldn't be too far away from finishing this off, but if you need to go, we'll certainly understand.
No, I'm good. I can hang around.
All right,
Yeah.
we'd love to have you. All right, let's get some more times coming in here. We got Big Dunka, 12th place, 2 minutes 5 seconds, 5 minutes 12 seconds. Korek, 13th place, 2 hours 5 minutes 27 seconds. Big Dunka would like to remind everybody there aren't 4 pendants. Why that is of significance, the world may never know, or unless you watch Big Dunka stream.
Perhaps the same thing that happened. I think something I'm thinking. Oh yeah, I forgot. Keysanity randomizes the music for the dungeons. Whoops.
Shoulder arm 2 down for Seto.
And it's gonna steal a big key. Or not a big key, it's a small key, I suppose. I forgot we already have the big keys. All the big keys.
Actually, we never did find the Ice Palace big key.
Yeah, but still, but at what cost? It's if you were to get it anyway.
Yeah, there's a really good chance it was in Ganon's tower.
Yeah.
Ooh, very nice triple off of Seto there. And that'll do it for Aga 2 for Seto.
Okay, good. Okay, good. You realize that there's music stops at this point.
All right. Bonta, 14th place, 2 hours, 6 minutes, 42 seconds. Matt, 7898, 15th place, 2 hours, 7 minutes, 1 second. Alizan, 16th place, 2 hours, 7 minutes, 13 seconds. Oh, and Seto. Oh, Seto was doing a death to get some health back. That's what he was doing.
I mean, that makes sense for him. Better to start the fight off with more health than go in with less health.
We got a very good setup here. Using the cape for cover, and that should put him into phase 3. All right. Time to shoot some arrows in Ganon's face. Double there. That should be the same double that Zelga got earlier, and that will do it for Seto. While we're waiting for him to cross... Actually, have to wait a sec, but... Fear Agent just came in 17th place with 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 18 seconds. And with a personal best of 15 minutes and 12 seconds, Seto 10987, 18th place, 2 hours, 9 minutes, 22 seconds. GG's to Seto.
GG's.
It's always nice when you get a PB, especially on a restream. It always feels nice.
Yeah, it's very much rewarding.
Gonna see if we can get Seto in here for a interview.
Right.
All right. Seto will be back in just a minute, but looks like he will be joining us. Alright, so while we're waiting, we do want to remind everyone that we do have daily races every day of the week except Saturday, and they are at 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. And I think tomorrow we have One Hit KO on the docket.
That's gonna be really interesting to watch. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch it myself, but it'll be quite a ride. If you want to check in to see that, when is that gonna start?
So actually, I was mistaken. That's Friday at 2 p.m.
Right.
And not only is it One Hit KO, it's timed One Hit KO.
I never knew the significance between one hit KO and timed one hit KO and just regular one hit KO.
Timed basically means that there's like a constant timer that you have to basically be refilling, and if it gets to 0, I think you take a death at that point, I think is what it is.
Oh, that is sinister.
Zelga, do you know if I'm correct on that?
Yeah, so the timed OCO is where you have like a timer running down, and you can get like clocks to up your time. But when that timer hits 0, your next damage, like you'll just be in a permanent OCO state until you find another clock, or if you take damage, then it's one hit death.
Oh, that makes sense why they use it, because it's the unused clock actually. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Which, again, I've never played it, so I'm just going to feign ignorance there. All right, Seto has joined us in chat. Seto, GG's on the PB.
Hey, yeah. Happy about that. Been a while since I've done Keysanity on SRL.
So, you kind of got Keysanity, unfortunately, with that Ether Medallion.
Yeah, I did.
But, I mean... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, all I had left after that was really going that blind pull that pedestal, checking Skull Woods, and then I got that key for Hera, and I was really worried. I'm glad it finally did turn up when it did. That Ether Medallion.
Yeah, I mean, as we've kind of been talking on here, it was pretty much just your standard Keysanity seed. I mean, other than the AGA 1 hook shot, there really wasn't any, like, any real sinisterness that you wouldn't normally find in a Keysanity race.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise it wasn't too terribly bad. We got boots for the Aerial and Vanilla Small Desert Key, I remember that. And that hook shot on Lumberjack, though, ugh.
Yeah.
Got that cast with Hierarchy, I beeline for that.
Alright, want to update some times real quick. Relkin, 19th place, 2:11:33. And Durand, 20th place, 2:12:03. The PB there for Durand was 7 minutes and 29 seconds, beating their personal best at that point. So, yeah, so... I guess the one thing I would ask, one thing I do want to bring up, Seto, was kind of the thought on. We kind of noticed you kind of had a little boo-boo with the front door in pod.
Yeah. Oh, I yelled at myself for that. I so meant to go in there and use 4 keys, and then unfortunately there was an extra key in there. But oh, I was so embarrassed.
Yeah, unfortunately, that That happens.
I used that key too. I was like, oh, wait a sec. Oops.
Alright, well... Trying to think, Seto, any thoughts from you? Otherwise, I think we're about ready to wrap up shop.
Yep.
Pretty standard Keysanity, so nothing really sitting out of the way. Thank you guys for the restream, if I can say anything.
Thank you.
Certainly. Zelga, any final thoughts from you?
No, I just want to echo that. I really appreciate the restream, you guys hopping on the commentary, the tracking. I mean, a large part of this community comes from being able to put on these events like this, and I really appreciate being part of it.
Absolutely. It's certainly a pleasure to get on here and blab for a few hours and watch you runners be the stars of the race and stars of these shows and put on the entertainment for us. So again, one more time, thank you to Seto10987 and Zelga Dasan, both for entertaining us as our featured runners. Please, again, be sure to give both of them follows on Twitches. As Zelga pointed out, we do want to give shout-outs to our two trackers tonight. We had Vince Easter and Melee Wizard keeping track of all the items. And let me tell you, in a Keysanity race, these trackers are essential. They are the unsung heroes of any of the randomizer community.
Yeah.
And also want to give a shout out to my fellow co-commentator, Professor Renderer. Certainly was a pleasure having you in the commentary booth tonight.
It's a pleasure to be doing this kind of thing too.
Yeah, and with that, we also again want to give a shout out to the Speed Gaming staff. Again, this is all behind the scenes is all volunteer work. You know, to put on all of these tournaments. You know, we do this for the fun. We don't do this for the money. Any bit donations or subs would certainly be appreciated to keep the lights on here at the Speed Gaming network of channels. With that, that's going to do it for us. So for Ren, for Easter, Melee Wizard, I am Jex Refi. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next mission.
Goodbye, fellow fans.